The Chevy Tahoe is a very luxurious vehicle, especially with this new 2021 redesign. But what if that's just not quite enough for you? Well, General Motors has you covered with this, the GMC Yukon Denali. This thing is spec'd out to the max. It has the $11,000 Denali Ultimate Package, and we're gonna show you around it today. Let's get into it. But first, a huge thanks to Kuhn Chevy Buick GMC of Clarksville for letting us take a look at this 2021 Denali. Big thanks to them. Check out their website in the description below. All right, let's look at it. Have you ever seen a tech YouTuber do a good phone peel? This is the opposite of that. This is just protective plastic they put on for shipping, but it's just something fun I thought I'd share with you. Okay, but for real, taking a look at the rest of the vehicle. Here in your infotainment system, this is the same GMC Chevy system, and that's not a bad thing at all because this system is extremely responsive and it's very easy. They organize it like a phone. You know, you have different apps that are very easy to access. For example, if you want to see your users, you can set up team drivers and whatnot through here, which is a very useful feature. This car does have the 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot. We also have a premium Bose audio system in this car. Now, you do have rear media. From here, you can control the screens in the back. We're actually going to take a deeper dive into this later in the video. Also interesting tech is the camera system. This has one of the best camera systems there is. You can toggle, for example, if you have the 360 camera all around you or not. You can change whether you're looking out the front or the back in any of these views. For example, if you want to make sure you don't hit a curb with your wheels, you have this really nice view looking at your front corners. And you can turn on guidance right here. If you actually look out the rear of the vehicle, you can change it to trailering guidance if you want to hook up a trailer. So these are very useful features. And speaking of trailers, if you go to the home, you have a trailering app. And from here, you can actually set up different trailers, check the connections, manage their mileage and whatnot. So GMC is really thinking about all the nice trailer features here, which is something you don't always see in luxury SUVs. That's usually reserved for trucks. So that's nice to see here. Now I want to talk about your heads-up display right there. So you can see you can control the heads-up display height, the information displayed, and the brightness. General Motors has always done very well on heads-up displays. They really pioneered them in many ways. So if we hit info, you can see right now we have our speed limit and our current speed. Dropping that down reveals your safety systems and what the vehicle is seeing and also your speed. And you can also bring up your compass, but my favorite menu is this one, which shows your pitch and your roll along with where the four-wheel drive system is engaged. So really cool feature. It's really big, really bright, and it's probably not coming across well on camera, but it also has really high definition. Now let's talk about this nice big 7-inch screen right here. It's really nicely molded in with your gauges. It's controlled via this button right here. And as you go across, here's your home. You can kind of customize what's shown here. This is probably the most useful screen, this info screen. You can see basic trip information here. But what I really like is features like the tire pressure, the air filter, brake pad life. This is all really useful. Follow distance, of course, for your safety features. But then you also have that same off-road menu we saw in the heads-up display right here, which is really useful. And then the rest of the stuff is just music, navigation, and your phone and your settings. Nothing else too interesting. So overall, this is a really nice screen. It's really bright too, so it's easy to make out from the driver's seat. Also, as part of the $11,000 Denali package we're gonna take a look at, you get these screens in the back. They're about 12 inches and they can be controlled from up here. You can turn them on from up there. You can see Colin has turned it on for us. And now we have this screen. So you can plug in an Xbox or something, or PlayStation through these little HDMI ports, and they will show up on here. Also, some Android phones can project up to this screen, which is very cool. iPhone users, we are unfortunately out of luck there. You can also plug in a USB and watch media off that, but the best feature that we can use right now is the maps. So let's say, you know, I'm pretty hungry. You know, after this review, Colin and I are gonna have to go get some food. How about some nice McDonald's? I can hit send and send these directions up to the screen, and Colin can accept or ignore them. and if he accepts them, the directions will appear right there. So that is a really nifty feature. Other than that, again, this is just more of a content consumption screen. This is really its only interactive feature. It doesn't have any games or whatever like the Pacifica. The one issue I've noticed with this system is that you can't turn it on from back here. I'm assuming GMC did that because kids, you know, might get annoying with it. The parents might want to lock them out of it. You can turn it off from back here, but now I can't turn it on. And I could see kids getting annoyed or like bugging their parents while they're driving to turn it on. So that's just something to note. Let's talk about safety. This vehicle is equipped with a pretty great suite of safety features. First of all, you have your radar cruise control. You also have blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert. There's auto emergency braking, and you have lane keep assist on top of auto high beams. Pretty good safety suite, except some of those features, it gets an enhanced auto emergency braking, are included in that $11,000 package. I feel like you shouldn't be paying that much for the enhanced safety features. That should really be coming with the standard GMC. Looking at the front, one word to describe it: chrome. Chrome everywhere. This gigantic grille really just shows the power of this vehicle. You of course have active aero to help give you better MPG at higher speeds, and you have these really powerful LED lights. I love that big C shape, looks great, especially with this big red GMC logo to sort of spruce up the front of the vehicle. You do have fog lights down here and some nice silver accents down here. Overall, it's a really understated yet powerful look. Looking at the side of the vehicle, 22-inch wheels right here. They're really big. They have a really nice presence to them, nice and blocky. And then you have a power deploying running board. On top of that, you have an air ride suspension system. Now, all three of those features, the power deploying running board, the 22-inch wheels, and the air suspension, are part of the $11,000 Denali Ultimate Package. This vehicle also has General Motors Magna Ride, which is going to help give the suspension a little more variability as you change drive modes. Then you just have a really nice vehicle side profile right here. Nice chrome, this gray color, all work really well together to create a really attractive side. Around the back of the vehicle, you do have these quad outlets right here, which look nice and handsome, especially with these nice LED lights. You can release the glass separately right here. If you just reach over, there's a little button, and there you go. You can open your glass just like that. Now, opening the tailgate is a power tailgate. You have a little button right here, and this will reel approximately 25 cubic feet of cargo space. Now, you can put down this third row right here. It is power operated, so you're just gonna hold these side buttons, and they go down pretty quick actually. You can see this one hit the other seat. This is gonna give you around 72 cubic feet of cargo space. Putting down the second row, altogether will give you about 125 cubic feet of cargo space. You can see I could fold all the seats completely flat right there, make for a nice load floor. You can raise the third row back up with power, not the second row. You're gonna have to do those manually. Let's take a look at your engine. You have a 6.2 liter Ecotec 3 V8 that's putting out around 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. You can expect around 14 miles to the gallon in the city, around 19 on the highway. The power is routed through a 10-speed automatic transmission to all four wheels.
If you like this video and content like it, make sure you like and subscribe for weekly uploads. Now back to the video. Moving to the interior of the Yukon Denali, my first impression, just based off of looks alone, is that this is just very underwhelming. It's a lot of dark grays, blacks, colors that don't really pop for this being exclusive to this upper level vehicle. I will say one nice thing is that they didn't just copy the same one from the Tahoe. This is an integrated system compared to the Tahoe having it more mounted. And there's also some various differences in storage compartments, which we will definitely be getting to later. But I mean, the one thing I notice is that they have this fake wood. It just feels really plastically and fake, and they gave it that black color, so it doesn't even look that good. Another bit of a grievance I have is this looks like a soft touch material, and it is padded to a very limited extent, but it is not that soft. So if you hopped in this too fast, I could really see you whacking the side of your leg on that, and that just not being a comfortable feeling. Now, let's talk about the center console of the Yukon Denali. Overall, like I said earlier, this does have the integrated screen compared to the Tahoe, which has its screen mounted. But one similarity it does take from the Tahoe is having your changes up here. It's almost like how the trucks have it, having all this stuff be up high instead of how most vehicles do it down low. That does free up more space down here for these storage compartments. Both of these, if you just press them, will go back, but this one will not go out. You have to press it here, which can be a bit annoying, but it is a very nice storage area. And this is also where you house your wireless charger, as well as some of your USB ports and your cigarette lighter. Moving up, you do have these very nice tactile dials, but one thing Jake mentioned that I have to agree with is I wish they were the rubberized material like they are in the Tahoe. This kind of faux metal material they have feels really weird and just not as luxurious as a car of this price point should have. Now, one of the coolest features available for this vehicle is the $350 power slide-in center console. You heard that right. The center console is power sliding at the riveting speed of about 1/10 of a mile per hour. In order to do this, you go up here and hold this arrow to slide it back. This gives you access to this lower area to maybe set stuff, as well as this secret compartment, which if you put the vehicle in valet mode will be locked. One complaint me and Jake could see with this is, why would you need this to lock? I can understand wanting to keep stuff safe from a valet driver, but this compartment is really small and you can't fit much more than a phone, a wallet, or a checkbook in there. But the issue with those items is if you're at a restaurant or something where you require valet parking, you're most likely going to be bringing those items into the restaurant with you. So overall, while this is a very cool feature, I think they need to make this compartment a bit more substantial in order to fit something meaningful in there. Moving on to the back, this is a pretty good place to sit. Considering how far back we have this seat and not having this seat back as far as it can go, I still have an adequate amount of leg room. Other than that, you have this center console, which once again does have those almost like faux metal gauges that just don't really feel as pleasing as, say, the rubberized ones of the Tahoe, but they are at least nice and snappy. You do have 2 of each USB port back here, as well as rear heated seats, which are very nice, as well as a traditional wall style outlet back here. You do also have access to these cup holders on the front, and of course, if you use that slide-in center console, this could be slid back to give you better access. But the one big issue I see sitting back here is actually the screen. While it would be very nice if you were actually using it to watch media, if you're not, you're just sitting here staring at your own reflection. And it can just be very jarring given how close and how large this screen is. The screen really does just stare into your soul when it's not on. Now let's get into the third row. To get in, you take this lever and you pull it up twice to bring it down here, and then all you have to do is just keep pulling it and it'll come up. Getting into this third row, you do once again have a very decent amount of legroom. It's nothing incredible, but for being in the third row and having this seat adjusted to where Jake would sit, I do have a comfortable amount of legroom. You also have some decent amenities back here with your USB port over here, as well as this tiny little cup holder and this little ridged pocket that you could store anything in. You also have this very nice soft touch material here to kind of help make the armrest not as rough. Overall, this is a very comfortable third row. In order to get out of the third row, you can find this button on the side of the wall here, and all you need to do is press it, and it will fold the seat down in order for you to grab and lift the seat through this lever, and you can easily get out. One nice feature we forgot to mention earlier is this mirror. Of course, you can have your normal mirror, but you can also flip the latch on the back to see like a live feed camera that comes in much clearer. Of course, Jake is behind the vehicle right now, so if I was to start reversing this vehicle towards him, it would give me the pedestrian warning that vibrates the seat. He'll be fine.
Let's talk about trims. Just so you know, we usually like to show you all the different trims, but they only have this one GMC that we have access to right now. So we're just gonna show you a little bit around this one. The first trim is the SLE, which starts at $50,700. That's gonna get you the 10.2-inch display up front. You're also getting wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And as an additional option, you can get these big screens in the back. At $64,800, the off-road focused AT4 is going to allow you to get the available air suspension. You're also going to get skid plates with a 32-degree approach angle, which is pretty good for a full-size SUV like this. You're also going to get that big 15-inch heads-up display. At $74,115, the Denali, like we have today, is going to get you that 6.2-liter V8 engine. You're also going to get that special Denali interior and up to 9 different camera views around the vehicle.
Overall, the Yukon Denali has a very commanding presence. If you see one of these things on the road, you're gonna move over and give it the space it deserves. However, for the $83,000 price point, I almost feel like it lacks the flash and the flair that you might find in some other vehicles, like your Audis, your BMWs, your vehicles that are gonna stand out a bit more and really command that respect. Despite that though, I think this is still a great vehicle. If you are just into big, meaty cars that don't really have all that flash and the glitz and glam of the BMWs, then this is the vehicle for you. Once again, shout out to Coons, Chevy, Buick, and GMC of Clarksville for getting us this vehicle today. If you're in the DMV area and need any of those vehicles, check out their website in the description below. We'll see you next time.